Shalom, God bless you, and welcome back to Code Searcher. Alright, take 5. The first one I put out, guys, I did it without even the sound being on. 35 minutes just wasted. So I'm committed to doing this and getting it out. I'm going to remain calm. I know the enemy is working against me, getting me frustrated. So I'm remaining calm. This is a very important table. I don't care if it takes me 12 times. We're going to get through it. Glory to your name, God. All right. So this comes from Matthew 24. I've said before, I've pulled a lot of access or obvious search terms out of Matthew 24. A lot of ELS terms here that we're going to get into after the plain text. I want to share with you what I have highlighted, and then we'll come back to the plain text. And maybe I should turn the camera off and do that so you can see. So hang in there. All right, and here we go. We'll just, of course, now listen. We're talking about the days of Noah. So let's see what the Lord has to say with the different prophets that come up, and we're going to talk about Hosea first. Comes in 4th chapter. What is that? Here we go. 15th verse. Though thou, Israel, play the harlot, yet let not Judah offend, and come not ye unto Gilgal, neither go ye up unto Bethaven, nor swear, the Lord liveth. For Israel did slideth back, as a backsliding heifer. Now the Lord will feed them as a lamb in large places. And then he goes on to say, Ephraim is joined unto idols, let him alone. Idols, let him alone. Their drink is sour, they have committed whoredom continually. Her rulers with shame do love. Give ye the wind that hath bound her in her wings, and they shall be ashamed because of their sacrifices. Hear ye this, O priests, and hearken, O house of Israel. Again, give ye ear, O house of the king. For judgment is toward you, because you have been a snare on Mizpah, a net spread upon Tabor. And sorry guys, I done got into chapter 5, but that was it. Yeah, I don't remember to their sacrifices. All right, next verse. We're in Joel, and we're going to back it up to verse 1 is where I want to start. Just to get the context, and it says, Blow ye the trumpet in Zion, sound the alarm on my holy mountain. Let all the inhabitants of the land tremble, for the day of the Lord cometh. For it is nigh at hand, a day of darkness and gloominess, a day of clouds, of thick darkness, as the morning spread upon the mountains, a great people and a strong. There hath not been ever like, neither shall be any more after, even the years of many generations. A fire devoureth before them, and behind them a flame burneth, as the land in the Garden of Eden before them, and behind them a desolate wilderness. Yea, and nothing shall escape them. And the appearance of them is the appearance of horses. As horsemen they shall run. And continuing on, like the noise of chariots on the tops of mountains shall they leap, like the noise of flames of fire that devour the stubble. As a strong people set in battle array, set their face, the people shall be much pain. All the faces shall gather blackness. They shall run like mighty men, and they shall climb the wall like men of war, and they shall march every one on his ways, and each one shall not break the ranks. And we're down to 7 now. Let me bring it on up, because once we get to 11 is what we have highlighted here, but I'm giving you the context of what was going on. neither shall one thrust another. They shall walk every one in his path. When they fall upon the sword, they shall not be wounded. They shall run to and fro in the city, and shall run upon the wall. They shall climb upon the houses. They shall enter into the windows like a thief. The earth shall quake before them, and the heavens shall tremble, and the sun and the moon shall be dark. Guys, the sun and the moon shall be dark. The stars shall withdraw their shining, and the Lord shall utter his voice from before his army, for his camp is very great, for he is strong that executeth the word. For the day of the Lord is as great and terrible, and very terrible, and who can abide it? Therefore also now, saith the Lord, turn ye even to me with all your heart, with fasting and with weeping and with mourning, and rent your heart, not your garments, and turn unto the Lord your God, for he is gracious, glory to God, and is merciful, and slow to anger, and of great kindness, and repenteth of him of the evil. Who knoweth if he will return and repent, and leave a blessing behind, even a meat offering and a drink offering unto the Lord your God? Blow the trumpet in Zion, sanctify a fast, call a solemn assembly, gather the people, Yom Torah, sanctify the congregation, assemble the elders, gather the children, and those that suck the breast. Let the bridegroom go forth out of his chamber, and the bride out of her closet. You see where we're going? Next verse is in Micah. It's the yellow verse here, and you can see a balance here with the prophets on both sides, and then there's a king also beneath. I thought that was interesting. Maybe nothing, but we'll just start back at verse 1 in Micah 3:1. And he said, Hear ye, I pray, O heads of Jacob, and ye princes of house of Israel. Is it not for you to know judgment? Who hate the good, and who love the evil, who pluck off their skin from off them, and their flesh from their bones, who also eat the flesh of my people, and flay their skin off of them, and they break their bones, and chop them into pieces, as for the pot, as the flesh within the cauldron. And they shall cry unto the Lord, but he will not hear them. He will even hide his face from them at that time, as they have behaved themselves ill in their doings. Thus saith the Lord concerning the prophets that make the people err, that bite with their teeth, and cry, Peace, and he that putteth not into their mouths, even prepared war against him. Therefore night shall be unto you, and ye shall not have vision, and it shall be dark unto you, and ye shall not divine, and the sun shall go down over the prophets, as the day shall be dark over them, and then shall the seers be shamed, and the diviners confounded. Yea, they shall all cover their lips, and there is no answer from God. But truly I am full of power by the Spirit of the Lord, and of judgment, and of might, to declare unto Jacob his transgression, and to Israel his sin. They build up Zion with blood, and Jerusalem with iniquity. We can just keep going here with Habakkuk is the next, and we're in the 3rd chapter, and we can just start at the 1st verse. This is a good place. We're actually in 4, 5, 6, and 7 here, all the way across in the white. You can see there Habakkuk right here. A prayer of Habakkuk, prophet upon Siganoth. O Lord, I have heard thy speech, and was afraid. O Lord, revive thy work in the midst of the years. In the midst of the years, make known. In wrath, remember mercy. God came from Teman, the Holy One from the Mount Paran. Selah. His glory covered the heavens, and the earth was full of his praise, and the brightness was as light, and he had horns coming out of his hands. This is where he's pierced. And there was the hiding of his power. Before him was the pestilence. Burning coals went before his feet. He stood and measured the earth, and he beheld and drove asunder the nations. And the everlasting mountains were scattered. The perpetual hills did bow. His ways are everlasting. And I saw the tents of Cushan in affliction, and the curtains of the land of Midian did tremble. Was the Lord displeased against the rivers? Was his anger against the rivers? Was thy wrath against the sea? And did thou ride upon the horses in thy chariots of thy salvation? Alright, in the next one we're at Zechariah. See the clustering of these verses, guys. And we'll go to 1. And he showed me Joshua the high priest standing before the angel of the Lord, and Satan standing at the right hand to resist him. And the Lord said unto Satan, The Lord rebuke thee, O Satan, even the Lord hath chosen Jerusalem. Rebuke thee, is not this a brand plucked out of the fire? Now Joshua was clothed with filthy garments, and stood before the angel. And he answered and spoke unto those that stood before him, saying, Take away the filthy garments from him. And to him he said, Behold, I have caused thine iniquity to pass from thee, and I will clothe thee with change of raiment. And I said, Let them set a fair mitre upon his head. So they set a fair mitre upon his head, and clothed him with garments. And the angel of the Lord stood by, and the angel of the Lord protested unto Joshua, saying, Thus saith the Lord of hosts, If thou wilt walk in my ways, and if thou wilt keep my charge, and thou shalt also judge my house, and shalt also keep my courts, I will give thee peace, thee places to walk among these that stand by. And I think he's talking about the two anointed ones that are standing there. And it goes on to talk about the branches further, and the two candlesticks, and there's another table, guys, that I'm working on right here, the two candlesticks. We'll get into that, but that's what it's talking about. The two anointed ones, Elijah and Enoch. You'll see that here in just a minute. Where are we at here? No, here. And we're also in Zechariah. This is the 12th chapter, and I want to back it up to the first verse. The burden of the Lord, the burden of the word of the Lord for Israel, said the Lord, which stretched forth the heavens, and layeth the foundations of the earth, and formeth the spirit of man within him. Behold, I will make Jerusalem a cup of trembling unto all the people round about, when they shall be in siege both against Judah and against Jerusalem. And in that day I will make Jerusalem a burdensome stone for all people, and all that burden themselves with it shall be cut into pieces, though all the people of the earth shall be gathered against it. And in that day, saith the Lord, I will smite every horse with astonishment, and his rider with madness, and I will open mine eyes upon the house of Judah, and I will smite every horse of the people with blindness. Okay, and this is the verse coming through here. What I got highlighted starts at 7. You can see, but I'm giving you the context. In that day, I will make the governors of Judah like the hearth of fire among the wood, and like the torch of fire in a sheaf, and they shall devour all the people round about on the right hand and on the left. And Jerusalem shall be inhabited again in their own place, even Jerusalem. The Lord also shall save the tents of Judah first. The glory of the house of David and the glory of the inhabitants of Jerusalem do not magnify themselves against Judah. And in that day shall the Lord defend the inhabitants of Jerusalem, and he that is feeble among them in that day shall be as David, and as the house of David shall be as God, as the angel of the Lord stood before them. And it shall come to pass in that day that I will seek to destroy all nations that come against Jerusalem. And I will pour upon the house of David and upon the house of Jerusalem the spirit of grace and of supplication, and they shall look upon me whom they have pierced. Glory to your name, Yeshua. That's right. And they shall mourn for him as one mourneth for his only son, and it shall be in bitterness for him as one that is in bitterness for his firstborn. And in that day shall there be a great mourning in Jerusalem, as the mourning of Hadad in the valley of Megiddo. And in the land shall mourn, and every family apart, the family of house of David apart, and their wives apart. And this is probably because them guys are all in combat, guys. All of these men are off fighting. Also, I got right here highlighted, which is a Psalm 106. 37 is where I got it started. And they served, we'll start here. And they served their idols, which were a snare unto them. Yea, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their own sons and their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with their blood. Thus were they defiled with their own works, and went whoring with their own intentions. Therefore was the wrath of the Lord kindled against his people, inasmuch that he abhorred his own inheritance, and he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated ruled over them. And there's an interesting anomaly here, folks, with Lucifer. Hillel is here with a vertical anomaly. We'll come to that in a minute. Now we're over in Proverbs, I believe this is 14th chapter. Where is it? There it is. Excuse me. We're in 23rd, 27 is what I have. My son, give me thine heart, and let thine eyes discern my ways. For a whore is a deep ditch, and a strange woman is a narrow pit. She also lieth in wait as for a prey, and increaseth the transgression among men. Who hath woe? Who hath sorrow? Who hath contentions? Who hath babbling? Who hath wounds without cause? Who hath redness of eyes? They that tarry long at the wine, they that go to seek mixed wine. Look not upon the wine when it is red, and giveth its color in the cup, when it moveth itself aright. At the last it biteth like a serpent, and stingeth like an adder. And thine eyes shall behold a strange woman, and thine heart shall utter perverse things. Yea, thou shalt be as he lieth down in the midst of the sea, and as he lieth upon the top of a mast. They have stricken me. Alright. I just highlighted two verses there because it was talking about serpents and adders, and you'll see with the ELS terms that come up there, it was kind of relevant to me. It was, at least. And then down to this verse, which is in Daniel, by the way, and the red highlighted. We're talking about the one who understands dark sentences. And I could show you off to the left again. I started working it, and it is emerging the same as before. So he came near, and I stood when I came, and I was afraid, and fell upon my face, and said unto me, Understand, O son of man, for at the time of the end shall be the vision. He's talking about the end of days. And he said, now he was speaking with me, and I was in a deep sleep upon my face toward the ground, and he touched me and set me upright, and he said, Behold, I will make thee know what shall be in the last end of the indignation, for the time of the appointed in the end shall be. Um, and I've said before, guys, Daniel is highly encoded and is encoded for the end days. That's a good example right there coming up in this table of what I'm talking about. Now let's talk about some of the ELS code that's in here. Up at the top, excuse me, Hakokav, which is the star. That's kind of hard for me to say. I have a southern accent. Hakokav, the star, in the brown letters, backwards. Elijah. We have here wailing or mourning right here. Mesopod, I believe it says Mesopod. I may be saying that wrong. We have here comet coming up in this very small skip in this Zechariah, as a matter of fact. We have Elijah in there. All of those verses. We have Chabatz, which is the gathered or gathered up. Which you can find this in Isaiah. Also to the side we have Chetefa, which is like the snatch or gathered is another harvest term. It's also here, Chetefe, right there. Now we also have a blood moon in the yellow, blood moon right there. In the red, joining with Elohim, we have released. I believe it goes off the page, yeah. Is unleashed. And we have Nephilim, the mem here. This is where they were sacrificing to devils. Look whose name is here. Hallel, or Lucifer, written backwards with fire. These two letters are fire. These two letters are hell. And these three letters are gates. So you have fire at the gates of hell, essentially is what it's saying. Very interesting anomaly here. We have the kingdom, and the English version of or the word rapture, coming from Latin rapture here. It is also here, very small skip. Now the bet in that caps what looks to be like a cross. Now the words that's here is shall know, or ye shall know. Ye shall know the kingdom rapture. Chabatz also runs through there. You see Chabatz in the green letters with the Zade. Chabatz with fullness is right here. Make sure comet is in this verse here. With this is in the end of the days. End of the days right here. Just pull this over. This verse has abortion in it. So, and as the days of Noah, we're talking about Hamas, which is violence. Also abortion. We know fallen angels gave mankind the knowledge of how to abort babies. Enoch, also here, the longer spelling of his name with the Vav and the Chuf. This is interesting here. Sons of Yeshua, right there. We've got Yudah of Judah. And let me just rotate this back because this is a date connected to this. Also with the house of God. So we have Hey, Tav, Shin, Ein, Hey, it's 2014. Wahuda of Judah. Chachamim, the Kohanim. I don't know why I'm thinking of the elders. Chachamim is the elders. This is Chonim, the priest. The house of God. Right there with the Tav. It's the sign of the cross, by the way. And we have a king here with that olive, by the way, is the loose association with that verse we were talking about, where the one who understands dark sentences stands up. Now, there's also a connection to the Pope, but both of these are loosely associated. You see There's no interaction with the actual verse. The only thing that does is Raphaim and the destroyer both have letters that come into that verse. Obama is the smaller spelling, the king here, and the longer version runs off this way, backwards, with the extra aleph. Um, so I got more to work here, guys. It just, I realized that verse was there. Once I realized we were in Daniel, so I did the same thing as in the Tetrad video. It just hasn't developed as much as the Tetrad video. We've got fullness here again. Also, Soto Brit or United States in the blue right here. Also, the angel Michael also appears here, Michael. And I think there's a mention of the temple. No, that's something else. All right. Interesting that how this happened. Fire in Hell's Gate, or in Hallel coming in, and that is Hallel. I'll show you over in Isaiah 14 where we were looking at Nepate Mishamayim Hallel, which is Hallel, O Lucifer, Ben Sahar Nigdata La'arez. And I'm still a baby at Hebrew. The affliction of the southern accent is very difficult to overcome. Anyway, it's the very same word, like I said, Hillel, as in the table here. Hillel is spelled backwards from Lucifer, right there, and we've got Nephilim in there, Raphaim in this table as well. So, as Jesus said, it will be as the days of Noah. Why was he saying this? Well, look around. Genetic modifications, food, animals, of people. Somebody brought up the thing about the silica, and people are so wanting to change how they look and to preserve themselves, even to put silicone in their bodies to do so. As the days of Noah, trying to be like God. So there you go, guys. More to this table coming out of it. It's still a lot here. This is just a scratch in the surface. So God bless. Lord willing, there will be sound in this video. God, you be glorified in Jesus' name. God bless you all.